relax and settle in for a story that just might creep under your skin. Hey Mandi Maniacs, and welcome back to another spooky Storytime Sunday ASMR. Sorry I have not posted in a month. I have been very busy, but I am happy to be back and reading to you again. Today we have a very exciting story. It is courtesy of Abigail Drake, and don't worry, I'm not name dropping. She invited me to use her name, so on Reddit her name is consistent _cry 5579, and she is one of the nicest Redditors I've ever dealt with. I messaged asking if we could use her story, and she said yes, and even sent me more stories to use. She was very nice, and she's very talented. Another exciting thing is this story is actually about real people. It's the first real story we've actually ever had. The others have all been fiction, so that's actually really exciting. I will be sure to put her Reddit in the description of this video, so make sure you check it out because she even has pictures of the Bell Witch, John Bell, and the home they lived in, as well as the cave. So that is really cool. You guys can head over to her Reddit and see those pictures for yourself. Also, please give her an upvote while you're there because she is a really cool person. So, let's get right into the story. The story is called The Legend of the Bell Witch. The legend of the Bell Witch takes place in a small rural town in northern Middle Tennessee called Adams. In late 1804, John and Lucy Bell and his family moved from North Carolina to Red River, Tennessee, present-day Adams, with their 6 children: Jesse, John Jr., Drury, Benjamin, Esther, Zadok, Elizabeth, Betsy, Richard, and Joel. In early accounts, the spirit itself provides its origin, stating, "I am a spirit. I once was very happy, but I have been disturbed and made unhappy. I am the spirit of a person who was buried in the cave, my bones disinterred and scattered, and one of my teeth was lost under this house. I am here looking for that tooth. Of course, this cannot be verified. However, a Native American grave was found in the cave, known now as the Bell Witch Cave. Some of the boys were playing in the cave, stole the tooth, then dropping it between the floorboards of the porch. They dug day and night looking for the tooth and finally returning it. Only then the Bell Witch claimed to be a spirit from everywhere: heaven, hell, the earth. Am in the air, the houses, any place at any time have been created millions of years. The first appearance of unusual disturbances surrounding the Bell family is usually reported as an incident on the farm, in which John Bell fired a shot at a dog-like creature which vanished. Drury and Betsy also began to see strange creatures near the property. These sights are accompanied by strange sounds around the house. bats were found in the home despite searching, and no damage to the furniture was ever discovered. During these demonstrations, the family refused to speak of the events to their neighbors. Soon the spirit would become violent, mostly towards John and Betsy Bell. The witch would slap, pull hair, and pinch, resulting in sleepless nights, and for Betsy being distracted at school. Her teacher, Richard Powell, would take notice. Betsy tried to confide in her childhood sweetheart, Joshua Gardner, but the witch wouldn't have it. She would beg, "Please, Betsy, please, don't marry Joshua Gardner," over and over, pulling her hair and dragging her across floors. The abuse continued on Betsy. Her family would have her stay at the neighbors and friends for safety. She would eventually break things off with Joshua Gardner, though the witch was oddly kind to John's wife, Lucy Bell. One story, though not proven, Lucy was sick and wanted walnuts. As if on command, walnuts fell from the ceiling as a gift from the witch. The disturbances would grow and rumors circled the town. John, swallowing his pride, finally asked for help. Over the coming months, people would come in and out to see what was transpiring in the Bell home. The witch would entertain them, poking fun at the men, still answering their questions, and not disappointing them with activity, including Andrew Jackson. She would hound people who missed church, reciting the sermon to them and berate them. She could recite a passage of the Bible. She went from church to church, 12 or more miles apart, and recite what each priest was saying. Family friend William Porter claimed the witch climbed into bed with him, allowing him the opportunity to seize the spirit in the bed, close, and attempt to throw it into the fire, saying only the immense weight and terrible smell of it prevented him from succeeding. The theory of Kate Batts. Mary Catherine Kate Batts, the wife of Frederick Batts, was believed by many to have been the culprit behind the disturbances known as the Bell Witch. Although not a poor woman, she was often mocked by others throughout the town. Her improper usage of words, along with her sometimes strange ways, led many to think she was practicing black magic or other forms of the occult. Benjamin Batts, the brother of Frederick Batts, had a dispute with John Bell over the sale of a slave. Facts of the dispute were later tangled and became the source of a rumor to the effect that John Bell and Kate Batts had the quarrel, and that the Bell Witch was created by Kate Batts to get revenge on Bell, while there were plenty of stories connecting the Bell Witch to Kate. One of the central goals of the Bell Witch seemed to be the death of John Bell Sr., Old Jack Bell, as the spirit called him, was blasted with curses, heinous threats, and serious physical torments. As the abuse continued, John Bell took to his bed, growing ill, and was cared for by John Jr. On December 19th, 1820, John Bell failed to his bed, and John Jr. went to the cupboard to retrieve the medicine for his father. Instead of the 3 medicine vials, he found only 1 vial. It was 1/3 full of a dark, smoky, unknown liquid. The voice of the witch gloated. "It's useless for you to try to relieve old Jack. I have got him this time. He will never get up from that bed again." She claimed of the vial that she gave old Jack a big dose of it last night while he was fast asleep, which fixed him. The contents of the vial were thrown into the fire and erupted into a blue blaze. John Bell died December 20th, 1820. The Bell Witch crashed the funeral, disrupting the service and singing body drinking sounds. John Bell's death being the first recorded death of the supernatural causes. After John's death, the disturbances seemed to come to an end, but she promised to come back in 7 years, to which she did, predicting things like the Civil War. Betsy Bell would later go on to marry her former teacher, Richard Powell. Richard Bell, the second youngest, wrote his account of the events, entitled Our Family Trouble, the story of the Bell Witch of Tennessee. There are many other little stories to this legend. The Bell family still living in Robertson County to the day, owning the Austin and Bell funeral homes. That is a very, very cool story. Thank you again, Abigail, for sharing that with us. So you guys, it's a real place you can actually go see for yourselves even. That is very neat. Perhaps one day in the distant future we will do exactly that. I am planning to add a segment going to check out different haunted and paranormal places across the U.S. So we will have to wait and see on that. I hope you enjoyed the story. I know I really did. And I have some more actually coming for you from her, so look forward to that. They are also centered around the Bell Witch, so that is very exciting. I hope you enjoyed this story, and be sure to go check her out on Reddit so you can see those photos. It's really neat. You'll be glad you did. I will see you back here next Sunday for another story. Have a wonderful week, and as always, keep on creeping. I hope you enjoyed the story. Remember to like and follow or subscribe. And I would absolutely love it if you would share this video with your friends, family, social